Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. My name is Basil, and unfortunately, I am recording again without my father tonight. He was supposed to arrive here in Colorado Springs, coming back from Chicago about 2 hours ago, but his plane got diverted and sent over to Denver due to the weather we're having here in the Springs. Been raining for the last 7 or 8 hours, so it's been a little rough. Thankfully, he got a hotel over there. He's safe. It was a bummer because we went down to the airport to get him, and we found out 20 minutes before he was supposed to land, not even, that he was bitten diverted. So got him sent over to Denver. Got to just kind of push through and record this for us right now. So I just want to say, miss him. Can't wait to have him back. He'll be watching tomorrow, of course, and it'd be fun to watch this game on Sunday because, of course, it's Dallas week again, a week that I'm stressed out more than really any week of my life. Eagles are going to be playing the Cowboys Sunday at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:20 p.m. Colorado Springs. It's going to be the Sunday night game. Of course, you always got to have an Eagles-Dallas matchup on a Sunday night. I feel like we've had one. I mean, I can't really say how many years straight, but I know it's been many, many years, pretty often that we have a Sunday night game, at least once a year, always a primetime game. But before I jump into all of that, just want to say I'm recording Friday, December 8th, 2023. Actually, I guess it's December 9th because it just turned 12 o'clock about 10 minutes ago. As always, we want to plug the club. We are part of the Eagles fan club of Colorado Springs, and we go to the Eagles games and watch every Eagles game at Frankie's on Powers and Galley here in Colorado Springs. We'd love to see y'all there. Please come on down. Have a great time with us cheering or screaming or crying, whatever you want. There's weeks like 2 weeks ago with Buffalo, and then there's weeks last week against the Niners. There's different moods, and there's always going to be different reactions. But it's always fun nonetheless, so come on down with a great group of people. We'd be happy to have you. As I said before, we're playing Sunday Night Football in Dallas. As far as the weather watch in Arlington, looking like it's going to be 56 as a high, 35 as a low that day. Not really expecting any weather issues because that's a domed stadium. They usually have it closed. There are times that it's open, so it could affect it, but usually it's a closed stadium, so you don't really have any issues there. The nice thing is it's a night game, and so you don't have to worry about that stupid sun that shines in through the side of Jerry World that I can't stand. You see their own team going into the sun, and you're like, what? Whose idea is this? Why is there a sunbeam just in the stadium? It doesn't make any sense. I can't stand that stadium, but that's okay. All-time series record, as I mentioned a few episodes ago when we recorded, Dallas does lead it 73 to 56 to 0. No ties, I think, as I mentioned before. All-time in the playoffs, Dallas is 3-1. Haven't played many games against them in the playoffs, only 4, and I think the one win we talked about was the 1980 NFC Championship game. I think it's funny that it's our second time doing. My second time doing a divisional game. The second divisional game of the year, and we haven't even played the Giants yet, which is kind of funny. But it's just funny having to record about the same team again because you can't. We already talked about our favorite moments, so we don't really have anything to say. I don't really have anything to say about that. But one thing that's changed over the last 25 years now. The Eagles lead 26 to 25 in the 51 matchups that we've had in the last 25 years. So we were 25 and 25. Now it's 26 and 25. Let's push it to 27 and 25. As I said, we already spoke about our favorite game moments or favorite history moments in the rivalry, stuff like that. So I'm just going to talk about last time we played them, just the last game recap. We won 28 to 23 in a little bit of a slugfest against them. Strong start for both teams early on. End of the half, we were down 17 to 14. That was the game that Jalen really hurt his knee. I mean, he kind of hurt it in the Dolphins game, as we had talked about, is when he started limping. I guess it was in the Jets game, but in the Dolphins game, you could kind of see it started. And then in Dallas, he took a knee to the head from Dexter Lawrence, I believe. Dexter Lawrence, Demarcus Lawrence, and that was just a bummer, but. It seems like he's doing fine since then. It seems like he's fully recovered. We never really know what these guys are going through because they're always toughing it out. But last time we played, we won 28 to 23. We scored 14 points in the second half and shut them down to just 6. A couple goal line stands, especially a last second sack and goal line stand to end the game with a little fumble to help our turnover differential, which is always fun. It's going to be another big game. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game. It's funny. I talked to my dad about this. I talked to, we say it on the podcast. It feels like for the last 6 weeks, we've had to say, this is the most important game of the season at least 4 of those times we said it. I said it against Miami. I thought it was going to be the most important game of the season when we were there in Philly. I thought it against Dallas the first time, against Kansas City, against San Francisco. I wouldn't say the Buffalo game was an important, the most important game of the season at the time. It really wasn't, because it was an AFC game, or a game against an AFC opponent. So it wasn't that big of a deal for us. It was nice to win it, of course, but wasn't that big. But this is again, biggest game of the season for us, possibly the biggest game of the season for the NFC, just because whoever takes this is going to be leading the NFC East. And, if Dallas wins, we go to we're out of the leaders of the divisions, and if we win, we stay with that first seed, and we kind of start to put the first seed away, which is going to be scary because, looking at the Niners schedule, it doesn't look like they're going to lose again for the rest of the season. I said that about the Lions a few weeks ago, and things have changed, so I'm always wrong there, but we'll see how that works. Eagle, I'm most looking forward to. Going to be two. I hate to re-choose guys, but it seems like these matchups just become more pivotal depending on the game. And I'm looking forward to Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. We got to have pressure on the quarterback the entire game. We have to make Dak feel uncomfortable. When he's comfortable and when he's protected, he's one of the best QBs in the league. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. He is playing at an MVP level at least the last 6 weeks or so, and he wasn't even playing bad the first 8 weeks. It's not like he's ever really been bad this season. He hasn't turned the ball over as much as expected, as much as he did last year. He's been much more careful with the ball, and he's been much more productive with efficiency and passing to his players. So it is a bummer to see as an Eagles fan, but no, he's playing at an MVP level. He's probably a top 3 MVP candidate, probably top 2 even, depending on who you're a fan of. I know there's going to be bias towards different people, but he's been playing great, and we got to put pressure against him. We got to make him feel uncomfortable. We got to make him. We can't let him escape. What we did with him the first week we played him, and what we did with Mahomes and Allen. They kept on getting away, and we just can't let that happen. We got to put him down. We got to make him hit the dirt, and we got to make him like the dirt. Matchup of the game. I'm gonna probably stay on the same thing. Our pass defense. Not really our pass defense, but our pass rush. We got to get home, and this is a great offensive line we're playing against. Tyron Smith's playing at a level that he always played at before. Zach Martin's playing great. Their other guard, who I can't think of, and I'm sorry, he's been playing really well. Terrence Steele on the right side, he's solid as heck. This is a pretty good offensive line. I'm not going to say top 5, but they could be. I don't have the full knowledge of their offensive line with me, but they're good, and they're solid. They don't let up a lot of pressures. I don't think Dak's been sacked that many times this year. So we really got to get him down, and we got to make him like the dirt. We got to scare this guy early on. All right, and as far as the Cowboys team stats, as far as their offense goes, they are ranked 4th in total yards with almost 400 yards a game at 396, 3rd in passing yards with 263.4, 11th in rushing yards with 117, 1st in points at 32.3. They have the most points per game. That's just, that's a bummer. It's scary going into this. And 3rd down percentage, they're 2nd at 48.5, which is very worrisome because we have definitely, I couldn't say it for sure. I'll check it, but pretty sure we have the worst 3rd down defense in the league. It has been terrible. I don't know why we cannot get off the field, especially in 3rd and long situations. We continuously have, 1st and 10, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 9, and then 1st down. Can we get off the field, please? Defensively, they're just as good. 3rd in total yards with only 306 allowed per game. 5th in passing yards with only 181 yards allowed per game. 12th in rushing, 106. Points, 4th in the league at 18.3. And 3rd down percentage, they're tied for 10th at 36.9. So, their defense is top 12 in every single category, and their offense is top... Oh, I'd already lost it. I'm sorry. Their offense is top 11 in every single category. So, this is not the best team we've played all season because we played the Niners, of course, but they're number 2 or they're number 3 or they're up there for sure as one of the best teams we played all season. And I think they're on the upward trend. And as you saw last week, I can't really say we're on a downward trend because it's not a, we haven't lost more than 1 in a row, but it doesn't feel too good going into this game, seeing their trend upwards and us kind of going down with 1 game. I know you could say it is, it isn't, whatever you want to say, but it's a little scary, a little rough, especially on our defensive side. Our defense, right here, they're 32nd in 3rd down percentage. They allow 47.3% of the time people get the other team gets a 3rd down. 22nd in total yards, 29th in passing yards, 4th in rushing, I will say I talked about it last week. I don't think our rushing defense is that great. I think they're really just good early on, and then it forces the other team to have to pass more so they don't run as much. And they're 24th in points allowed. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. We are now third in third down percentage on offense. That's a bummer. We were first for a while there. Fourth in points, that's good. Rushing yards, 8th. Passing yards, 13th. And total yards, we're 8th on offense. So offense shapes up good. We're in the top 13. But on defense, we're only in the top 5 one time with the rushing yards, and we're in the bottom 10. Yeah, we're in the bottom 10 of everything else. That's bad. Oh, this defense really needs to find a way to get off the field in this game and get pressure, get hits, and just avoid damage. I mean, that's the best thing they can do. I mean, that's what they did against Dallas the first time that we were lucky with. They got cooked, they got smoked, but they were able to hold up in the red zone. They were able to limit them in both, their second down conversion when we got Dak out of bounds. Good job, Brandon Graham. Reed Blankenship getting Jake Ferguson down at the goal line. Zach Cunningham tackling Dak down at the 1 yard line, not letting him hurdle over and get the touchdown. Just, we were lucky last time to have a good defense in the red zone, but man, it's just scary right now because that defense just is not looking good. Moving on over to roster changes. Greg Ward, he's back on the practice squad, as you all know. Our Eagles Therapy podcast is a big fan of Greg Ward. We love that guy. Happy he's back on the team. I really hope he gets a real shot one day again. I think he can be a really serviceable slot receiver in this league. Would love to see him back on the field again. Christian Ellis, we cut him, hoping he would clear waivers, hoping he would be on our team on the practice squad. Turns out he is on the Patriots now. He got signed over there. Not a surprise because Belichick loves his special teamers, and Ellis was a great special teamer. That's kind of the big bummer right now is, he was our leading snap count. Well, how should I say it? He was the lead special teamer, sort of. He had the most snaps on special teams on our team this season so far. He's a pivotal player on that special teams unit, a unit that wasn't so good. We didn't expect to be very good going into the season. He kind of helped shore up some of those problems that we saw going on early, but he was really good on special teams, and now he's gone. So, we're going to see a lot of people have to fill in those spots, probably Sidney Brown, probably Josh Jobe, a little bit of Eli Ricks and Keely Ringo. Probably see a lot of them on special teams even more than they were already. Injury reports looking good. Happy to see it. No one today did not participate. Everyone participated in practice today. Julio Jones, he was limited. He was limited with his groin injury. Full participants included Grant Calcaterra with his ankle, Fletcher Cox his groin, Zach Cunningham with his hamstring. Goddard looks like he's coming back from his forearm injury. Darius Slay had some rest today as well of his knee, and Jack Stoll also was a full participant after his knee issues. So good to see. I don't have the injury report for Dallas pulled up, but I can't imagine many things are going on there because I haven't really seen any reports or anything like that for injured guys. All right, yeah, their injury report looking good. They have full participants for everyone. They have one guy who's not coming in offensive tackle, but I believe he's a backup, so they're not going to be having any problems there. They're looking like a pretty healthy team. So this is looking like a pretty healthy matchup. It's good to see. Tired of seeing injury matchups and everything like that. It's always a bummer when you go into a game missing a big player, or even the other team is missing a big player, because it opens that door for excuses, for people to make excuses on either side. And it's nice to see. No one was able to really do it last week with the Niners and the Eagles, and it looks like no one will be able to do it this week. I just hate seeing excuses, and I hate hearing the injury stuff and everything like that. But go ahead and jump over to a real quick shout out to just the comment section and just all of our views. We do have to share, or I do have to share. We had 3,612 views on our last episode, more than 15 times more than what we normally get. We had 121 comments and 48 likes. Really appreciate everyone. I got to give a shout out, and I'm sorry to all my Eagles fans that are probably going to get upset with me. Obviously, first shout out to my Eagles fans who are watching everywhere. Hopefully some people out in Chicago found us since my dad was out there passing out some of our business cards. Obviously all the people at the club and at Frankie's. Maybe some people out in Philly that are watching. I don't know. Some of my family. But big shout out to the Niners fans too. Thank you very much for commenting and being part of it. I know there were some comments, of course, you get the bang bang Niner gang, whatever they say, which is funny because that's not a thing I knew about until this happened. But still a big shout out. Thank you so much for watching, and we had some really good comments. A lot of guys who were Niners fans who came in and saying, "Hey, we're great job, and thanks for not complaining and everything like that." And you guys are pretty good Eagles fans, so we really appreciate you guys, and we appreciate the support from everyone we got. And even those likes and comments, even some of those comments that didn't love us, it really helps promote the video to be seen by more. 3,600 views, man. We were ecstatic. I was at work one day. I was at work the day it was happening. I had YouTube pulled up in the background and just kind of checking our, what we get throughout the day. And it just went from 300 in the morning, which I was like, 300, that's great. Like, way to go. Me and my dad were like, oh, 300, that's awesome. And it just kept on growing. 1,700. Well, oh my gosh, 2,000. We got up to 3,612, 121 comments. We really appreciate everyone's support. Shout out to the Niners for beating the Eagles. That kind of helped this explode. And thank you, Eagles, for, I guess, losing. I can't really say I wanted you to, because obviously I didn't. And I don't want you to ever again. But thanks for the little boost we got the one time you did lose. It was really cool. But again, shout out to everyone who commented and watched and liked. We really do appreciate it. It's so much fun to see. And just a lot of banter, which is great. My dad gets into it, and I get into it too, and it's cool. And I appreciate that everyone was pretty respectful. There was no profanity or anything like that, which we really appreciate, because we always want to advertise ourselves as a family type of show. So thank you very much again to everyone who was watching and commenting and everything like that. In other news, the 76ers, they won tonight, 125-114 against the Atlanta Hawks. I hate the Hawks, so always nice to see them lose. That brings the Sixers to 14-7, makes them, I believe, 4th in the Eastern Conference, which is just way better than I ever expected from this season. So I just got to say, man, we're playing with house money, and I'm loving it, man. I think this is great. Embiid did get hurt during the game, so a little worrisome there. Not too sure what that's going to mean for the future. He did finish off the game, so I don't know how severe it was. We'll probably get more information about it, talk about it next time, maybe, depending on how important it was. The Flyers won last night against the Arizona Coyotes 4-1. I saw a nice little picture just on Facebook when you're scrolling, and it was NHL page or something like that. And it was saying teams in the NHL that are, there was exceeding expectations, meeting expectations, below the standard average, all the different levels they had. And the Flyers were the number one team on exceeding expectations. So that's cool to see. I'm not the biggest hockey fan, neither is my dad, but I'll always cheer for the Flyers. Just nice to see that they're doing well. That brings them to 14-10-2. I always like to say, if the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. So that's always my big thing to say. If the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs, and I like to be able to say that. So that's cool. Penn State, they're going to be playing Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl on December 30th. Definitely going to watch that game. Going to be fun. I'm wondering if it's going to be Franklin's last game coaching Penn State. Probably not, but I think it is time to move on from that guy, because you got to be able to beat Ohio State and Michigan at some point, bud. So hopefully I don't want to say hopefully, I'm not going to root for anyone to get fired, but might be the last game he's coaching that team. Nonetheless, hope they win. Going to be a fun game to watch. Ole Miss and Penn State, they are 11 and 10 respectively in the rankings, so that's pretty cool. They're the closest you can be. That's nice to see. Hopefully it's an even matchup. Hopefully it's a great game with Penn State coming out on top. Aside from that, I don't really have much to say. I guess I just want to say one more time, thanks to everyone who's watching. Thanks to everyone who's listening, wherever you're at. We really do appreciate it. And just to see our video reach over 3,000 views was just incredible. I'm blown away by that, and we just couldn't believe it. And we couldn't be more thankful for all of you who are talking about it or spreading it by word of mouth or sharing it. I don't know, however you're doing it, but we really do appreciate it. And we really do appreciate you listening. We also grew in like 18 subscribers, so we're up to almost 70, which I know to some people is probably like, that's it. But to me, I mean, we're ecstatic. This is just so cool that we're finally getting some traction here. And we really do appreciate you listening. And we hope you continue to listen. Can't wait to have my dad back here with me. Hopefully he's comfortable out there in his hotel bed right now. But I can't wait to have him back so we can record again, because 2 episodes in a row by myself, it's a little painful on my throat. But it's also just not as fun. I love having the conversation up here. So does he. And it's a great back and forth that we have and debate. We usually agree on stuff, but even if we don't, it's always just fun to have each other up here. So really hope he's doing good, and can't wait to have him back here next time. Hopefully recording tomorrow Saturday, Sunday night. We're recording Sunday night, hopefully with a win in our pocket, so we can be a happy episode reunion back together. But until then, we'll go ahead and say our goodbyes here, or I'll say my goodbye here. You can go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If you like our Eagles Therapy podcast, do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, whatever you listen on, give us a follow or give us a rate. Please do. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, if you're watching there, please like and subscribe. You can comment below anything you want to say. If you're a fan of Dallas, you can go ahead and start talking some smack, man. It gets fun. I think we have a great time with it. Keep it to no profanity. We really appreciate that. But other than that, man, it's just so much fun to have other teams' fans find us. It's just kind of cool to have that. It brings another level to this for us. It brings it a little bit more real, because we usually get our Eagles fans, some of our best friends are Eagles fans to comment, and it's great to see. And man, when we get the other fans and they comment, and then these guys comment back, it's just so much fun to see. So comment below anything you have to say, any questions, any smack you want to talk, anything like that. Or you can email us your questions at oureaglestherapy@gmail.com. But other than that, my name is Basil, and from us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcast, go Birds and fly Eagles fly.